Have you ever just gotten tired? Tired of all the effort it takes to build relationships, to maintain them, to keep everything going? If you've ever wondered if there's a different, maybe a deeper, more stable way to connect with people, well, then this is for you. We're going to dive into a pretty radical idea about what a true community really is. We usually think a community is built on stuff like having things in common, sharing the same interests, or just, clicking with someone. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the strongest, most lasting communities aren't built on our personal feelings at all? Let's kind of turn that whole idea on its head. Okay, so here's the core concept. We can look at groups of people in two totally different ways. On the one hand, you've got your typical human gathering. This is based on compatibility, on liking each other, on empathy. We hang out because we get along. But on the other hand, you have what we're going to call a true community. And this is determined by something else entirely, a shared center. So where does this idea come from? Well, it comes from some really deep thinking by a theologian named Dietrich Bonhoeffer. He spent a lot of time wrestling with this question of what truly, fundamentally holds people together. And his conclusion was pretty out there. Okay, so Bonhoeffer's big idea, which came from his own deep faith, was this: a true community is determined by Christ. Now, I know that's a very specific statement, but for what we're talking about today, let's look at the powerful principle behind the words. Think of it as any kind of community built not on how we feel about each other, but on a profound shared central point, a rock-solid foundation that everyone is connected to. So what does that actually look like in real life? I mean, how is being connected by a center any different from just being connected because you like someone? Let's break that down. And here's the thing that's so crucial to get. This kind of community, it exists on a completely different dimension. It's not about how well you get along, or if you feel comfortable with someone, or if you have amazing chemistry. It's built on something so much deeper than just personal preference.
The way it works is actually incredibly simple. Step 1, you connect to that central point, that shared foundation. Step 2, other people, totally on their own, also connect to that exact same point. And boom, step 3, you're all connected to each other through that center. The connection is already there.
And just think about that for a second. The pressure is completely off. You don't have to try so hard to build relationships from zero. You don't have to force a friendship or worry about whether people like you. The basic, fundamental connection is just a given. It's already done. And this is where you really see the difference in durability. A relationship that's only based on feelings is fragile. But one that's based on a shared center is incredibly resilient. It can handle disagreements, it can handle misunderstandings, it can even handle huge physical distances, because the foundation isn't just you two, it's that unshakable center you both share. I mean, we've all been there, right? A relationship that's just based on liking each other can be totally wrecked by one small misunderstanding, a clumsy comment, or just people changing over time. It's like it's built on sand. But in this other model, the connection isn't a feeling that comes and goes. It's treated like an objective fact. It's just there, whether you're in a good mood or a bad one, whether you're feeling close to someone or distant. It's a constant reality you can always fall back on. To really help this idea click, we can use a couple of powerful metaphors. You can think of this shared center as a bridge that connects you to others through it, and you can also think of it as a container that you all exist in together. So if we're trying to picture what holds this all together, don't think of it like glue, sticking individual people to each other. That's still a person-to-person thing. No, it's something way, way bigger. It's more like a giant balloon, a single shared space that holds everyone inside it. So instead of trying to connect to each other, you just realize you're all already inside the same balloon. And this balloon has 3 incredible properties. First, we're all living inside it together. It's our shared reality. Second, it's always, always expanding. There's always more room. And third, and this is the really wild part, it will never, ever pop. It is an unbreakable container. Okay, so if this community already exists, if this connection is already a fact, then what is our job? What are we supposed to do? Well, it totally changes the game. Your job is not to run around frantically trying to build and fix all these little individual connections. Your real role is actually way simpler and honestly a lot more profound. It's to help expand the balloon. Your job is to contribute to the growth of this amazing shared space that you've already been given. So, how do you do that? How do you expand the balloon? It really comes down to these three things. First, you stop trying to manage or control other people. Second, you stop drawing lines in the sand based on who you personally like or dislike. And finally, you always keep that shared center as the main focus of everything. When you do that, the community just naturally stays together and it grows. So the big question isn't, how can I get more friends anymore? It's about a total shift in focus. Your real role is to help expand this incredible, unbreakable balloon. So the only question left is, where are you going to start?